God of War. So we have finally successfully freed the light elves. We have gotten the light that we need. But our boat is on the other side of the lake, so we need to go back down the way that we came, which means taking this elevator down and going all the way through the underpass, which doesn't have too many enemies. There are still going to be some dark elves, but I believe at this point we've collected enough of the sockets that we can put into our armor that will reduce dark elf damage. I think we found 2 of them, and I think that's mostly what you're going to find around here. I can't remember if there's a 3rd one available, and if there is, I definitely missed it in this recording. So if you have 2, put them both on. It's going to reduce your dark elf damage by, I think, 24%. So that'll be really helpful for the boss who's coming up, who is a dark elf. At least I'm pretty sure it still affects the damage done by the boss. If it doesn't, then oh well. The boss himself, which will be at the end of this video, is not too difficult, but he did take me 2 tries, and I will be explaining why that happened once we start fighting him. But the boss has pretty much the same moves as the enemies that we've been dealing with before. So we're going to run into a Revenant right away here, and the Revenants are still probably my least favorite enemy, just because if you're not right next to them when you get Atreus to stun them, then it's almost as if they aren't stunned at all. So one of the ways that I'm trying to get this guy is just knock him off the edge, but it's kind of hard to knock these guys off. The game is also going to be a little bit meaner in throw. 2 Revenants at us, and Revenants are usually the time that I immediately just go into Spartan Rage so I can say for sure, okay, get rid of them and we're done with them because these things are stupid. You can't hit them with your axe very easily if they have that sort of chaos looking poison, whatever magic stuff around them. But if that stuff is around them, you need Atreus to shoot them, and that way you'll be able to actually kill them. And I think this Revenant, I guess I killed her? Okay, sometimes you get them to low health and they still have a lot of life left, so kind of one annoyance in this game. The monsters love living with like half a sliver of health left, their health left. So this Revenant's getting pretty well destroyed here. The area is wide open enough that using your axe is still a pretty viable option as long as you actually keep her stunned, and then that's all done. So this part is going to be pretty uneventful except for a bunch of walking. So there's a crystal over there, and there's going to be 2 places that we're going to put that crystal, but first we're going to come pick up the... I think we pick up the crystal here? Maybe not. We shoot that one. But anyway, if you just want to continue on down straight to the boss and forget the side rooms, then you can just put the crystal at the other end of this walkway and put it into that kind of place that's in the direction we're supposed to go, and we'll see that here in a second. There's a couple of these, I don't know, sort of prisons, I guess, that have these new light barriers on top of them. I just thought they looked cool. But anyway, we're going to run back outside here, and... there's a spot down there to the left. That's where the crystal needs to go. But we're going to do a couple of things with the crystal that's going to involve quite a bit of walking first. So let's pick up the item if we want to. That's a more hack silver, I guess. Not really a great item. Now, it's kind of weird, too, because the hack silver, you don't get very much hack silver this early in the game, but later on it gives you a lot more. Okay, so we got to get the crystal. Oh, the crystal was up there. Okay. Why did I forget that? I thought it was on the other end. I thought I saw it on the other end. Maybe I've seen something else. Anyway, get the crystal inside of this room and kill the dragon that come out of the doorways. Kind of strange that I forgot about that. Yeah, so the weird thing about carrying the crystal too is that you can't sprint with it, and that can be time consuming because you can only do walking as Kratos, and this is a pretty large area that we're in right now, but we're going to come into each of these cells, pick up all the items, hack silver, whatever the heck's laying down here. That's a spoil of war, so 2 of 6 that are in the whatever, Alfheim, I think is the name of this place. There's 2 of 6 of those, just scattered throughout Alfheim, in some places more hidden than others. And sometimes something cool happens if you get all of them. Usually it's just like, yay, you completed the area, you get, experience, you get hack silver, stuff like that. Okay, so pick up the axe, and I'm probably talking over it, but your son's soon going to be asking you, are you going to carry that everywhere? And I think Kratos says something like, if I must, or something like that. It's pretty funny. So, once we come back out here with a crystal, a revenant, not a revenant, is that a revenant? That might be a revenant, but another dragger is going to spawn, and I would strongly suggest, because that's one of the stronger ones, you just shield bash them off the edge for that. So buy that perk if you don't have it already, And to shield bash, you just gotta parry and then hit R1 right away. So we can put this crystal inside of here, and this is the way you would go if you don't want to do the kind of bonus room that's behind us. That'll open up the bridge, and we could go that way, but I think I'm gonna turn around here in a second and go down that other room. Because I'm like, do I want to? Yeah, there's a chest in there, we probably should. So let's run down here just to take a look at what it's like at first. We're gonna shoot this crystal. That must have been the crystal that I saw. And there's gonna be that spot that we put it, so I guess I, for some reason, decided to walk in here before going and getting the other crystal. Oh, that's right, there's more dragger in here we want to kill first. Okay. So I did have a purpose for that. Why am I wasting time? But no, I did have a purpose doing that. One dragger, we'll get rid of him just so we don't have to deal with him later. And then we're going to be dealing with these spinny things once we get the crystal inside. Those are going to open up the door there, and it's going to be similar to the 3 rune chests that we've been dealing with this whole game up until this point. And we're really going to be having most of our puzzles be some variation of those rune puzzles. I think this one has 4 runes, and it's kind of weird how this next room works. So I haven't quite figured out exactly what you're supposed to do, but I do get the main gist behind it, I guess. So first, there's going to be symbols that come up on the door, I believe, and those symbols are what we're going to want to match up the walls on the left and the right to. But it's timed for each half, but it's not like you have to time to get all of these spinny things here. So let's see if we can explain it a little bit nicer. We'll get Atreus to shoot that. So there's going to be 4 symbols on the wall, the B, F, the E, and then the, I don't know, the Y looking thing, the tree, I have no idea what to call those. So there's going to be 4 of those little spinners on each of the walls to the left, but each spinner is only going to have 1 of the symbols that we need, except I think they all have N's, but we don't need the N. So if I hit this one again, we'll see that it has the F that we need, and it goes away on the door, and you need to do that for both sides, but you only have to do that one side at a time. So it's going to be timed for this left side, and then it's going to be timed for the right side. And I'm going to speed this next part up, and hopefully that explanation was good enough, but I'm going to speed this next part up because I wasted a little bit of time looking at these. I thought I had to give myself more time to explain how this works, but I guess I really didn't. So that one, again, only has 1 of the symbols that we need. This one, again, has the other one, and only the right side is timed with the right half, and the left side is timed with the with the left half. So once you finish the left side, you won't have to do the left side again, is where I'm getting with this. And with that finally out of the way, we can come and get our reward, which I don't think is really worth the amount of time that took to get through. It's not that hard though. But anyway, we get runic scaled spalders. Most of the stuff that you get at the beginning of the game will only be useful at the beginning of the game. Even though you can upgrade pretty much everything that you get, the later stuff you're going to be able to buy and craft are going to be far more upgradable and far more powerful just on their base version. So don't be afraid to sell armor if you're not planning on using it. Anything that you want to do in this game, you'll pretty much be able to buy later. And yeah, the only thing I would say not selling to dwarves, or don't sell the dwarves, are the resources, and that would be stuff like Igrumir's gold, I think, is one of them, and there's a bunch of other resources later on in the game that you'll be collecting. And when you go to the sell menu on the dwarf shop, you'll be able to see a bunch of things you can sell. Those are the only ones I would recommend not selling. Anyway, so once we are finally done with that area, we can keep walking this way. The boss will be very, very soon, pretty much at the other end of this hallway. So as I said, the boss took me 2 tries to defeat, and that was because I got him literally one hit left, but he finished me off with an attack that I became very good at dodging the second time around, thank goodness. And I was pretty good at it the first try. I just had a couple of moments where I wasn't paying very much attention. And for that reason, I would say this is probably one of the first actual difficult bosses, and to start him off, all you gotta do is go to that elevator right in the middle, and I'd probably cut over a cutscene of Atreus talking about something when that happened, I can't remember, but either way I'll be talking over it anyway. So the boss himself is just going to be having pretty much all the same moves as all of the Dark Elves that we've been fighting before, and as I've said at the beginning of this video, you want to make sure that you have those gems socketed that give you reduced damage to Dark Elves. I'm pretty sure those work against this guy and it's just going to help a lot. I would not recommend using Spartan Rage until he's probably down to about 1/4 health, because that way if you survive that long, you'll definitely be able to kill him when he's doing his strongest move. So he starts off with pretty basic attacks, these swinging ones, most of which can be parried, and you're going to want to do your best to try to hit him when he's either stunned or kind of sitting down on the ground. Don't be afraid to use Atreus as much as you want, and that one we can parry right at the end. We could probably parry that at the beginning too. So we just want to stun him as much as we can and then whack away as much as possible. Like any other Dark Elf, I don't really think it's a good idea to use heavy attacks because he might get sent into the air, and if that happens then he's just gonna fly off, so that doesn't do you very much good. Try not to use the health orbs or the health drops that are around unless you absolutely need them, and then pay really close attention to this attack. He's going to send 3 lightning zaps at you, and you're going to want to roll away from those. There's really nothing else to do about them. Roll away from them, stay away from them. Pay really close attention. The thing that I found best to do was just to roll backwards if he does it, but if you're careful you can roll forward, and when he's down on the ground like that you can go and hit him like I was trying to do right there. At this point he'll also start dodging, and when he dodges he'll leave a lightning ball there that will blow up on you, so it makes it a little bit harder to chase after him, and then eventually once you get him down to about 2/3 of his health left, he'll start making the world dark around him, and that can just kind of make him a little bit worse when it comes to actually attacking him. So I actually chased him into this room over here, which was interesting because that never happened in the first fight. I also think at some point we might get a couple of Dark Elves sent our way. I can't remember, I guess we'll see. But either way, just do all the same things that we've been doing, parrying what he has and then dodging everything else, and just trying to make sure that he isn't going to be given a chance to hit you. So in that case, right after it blew up, I sprinted to him and was able to get a couple of hits off on him. If he's blocking, you might be able to break his block with your shield bash. That guy ended up being right behind me, but I don't know if he is shield breakable, so I don't think I've ever pulled that off on him. And that one almost got me again. I'm doing pretty good on health here, and it's kind of interesting too doing this the second time, because the first time he did way more damage to me, but second time here he hardly did anything to me at all. And like I said, at this point probably not a bad idea to use Spartan Rage if you so desire. That attack is also going to be a new one once he gets to this point in his health. He's going to make an unblockable slam onto the ground, and it's kind of hard to tell when he's going to do it. That one is blockable, and it's just a charge at you, and he did that one a lot more to me the first time around, so his attacks are a little bit random. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure you can't knock the boss off the edge. You can knock most of the enemies off the edges. I don't think you can knock him off. He does have a stun meter, I think? Maybe not. I think, no, okay, I don't even think he has a stun meter, so I don't think we could even try to stun him to kill him. But anyway, that ground slam attack is probably the one that's going to take the most effort out of your day here. Either way, I get through him without using Spartan Rage. That'll be the end of the boss and also the end of this video.
No, that can't be.
What did it say?
That we made a grave mistake. Did we help the wrong side?
Let
me guess. You're gonna be smug and say you told me we shouldn't get involved.
That is enough.
Can we go now?
Do you remember the answer?
Yeah.
Boy, read this. Boy, what's that say?
Only time you want to talk to me is when you need
Do you want to tell me something?
I said, the only time you care to talk to me is when you need me to translate for you. If Mom was
If
here...
your mother was still alive, we would not be here at all. Atreus.
Forget it.
Fine.